Recently, I've been checking out this online music production platform called Session Loops. They've been around for a little bit, but it's a new platform to me. Session Loops has some really unique and usable features that I haven't really seen on a platform like this. A huge thank you to my friends at Session Loops for supporting this channel and sponsoring today's video. Now, I really like working with loops and samples, but the challenge that I often face, and that I think a lot of people face, is how do I take this loop and make it feel more like a piece of music rather than just a loop that's repeating. So, for example, if I have a loop like this, there's a few things that I can do to manipulate this to make it sound different. I can chop this up, I can rearrange the chords, I can use something like a pitch shifter to manipulate the pitch. I could take my sample, throw it into a sampler, and then create something completely new. But in terms of taking my original sample and saying, hey, you know what? I want this chord to be a minor chord. There aren't too many quick and easy ways to go about that. Now, Session Loops takes that typical sample and loop-based workflow and takes it a little bit further with a few of its built-in features. You can see we've got a bunch of different sample packs here. These are all guitar-based sample packs, and down here we have some synth and synth bass sample packs. Guitar parts sound really good, so I want to play around with a few of them and really dive into Session Loops with you. Nylon Dreams is actually a pack that I would have some genuine use for. I don't have a nylon guitar here in the studio, so if I needed something like that, I could come to this pack, and let's check out some of these loops. So one of the coolest things about Session Loops is once you find a loop that you really like, you can use it as is, of course, but you can also click on this edit icon and bring up this editor window. And here you'll see a bunch of different information. Over here you have all of these different effects that you can use. So right now we're using a cloud reverb, but let's see if we wanted to use a chorus effect. Cool. You have a ton of different built-in effects that you can use. You not only have single effects, but you also have down here combo effects. So here is a chorus and an echo. Let's check this out. Really cool. Let's check out this phaser. I'm going to go back to this chorus. I really liked that. Now you can also change your key and your BPM here. I actually think I want this a little bit faster. Let's see what that sounds like. And just for demonstration purposes, let's change the song from major to minor. Let's see what that sounds like. Wow, that's amazing. Took all the chords, made them fit the new key. That's really cool. If we go back to major and you just wanted to like pitch shift this a little bit, bump it up to the key of F major. Cool. I do like the key of E flat, so we'll work in that. Over here, you can see you have this progressions menu too, which is super cool. You have all of these different recommended progressions that you can try out. That's really cool. Now on the far right side of this menu, you'll see you have all of these different loops, and then you also have a bunch of riffs and licks. So essentially all of these different grooves will determine what sort of chord articulation or rhythm or arpeggio or pluck your particular chord is playing. And then once you drop your groove onto the editor window, you can then select which chord or chord extension you would like to play, and then you can change your register or chord voicing. And with your riffs and licks, you can adjust your register and your gain. So if I kind of like the bones of this progression, but I want to spice it up a little bit, I can do that by changing up some chords or adding in some different licks. Let's see if we can put a lick right there. That's kind of cool. Now I like that, but I think this should come in a little bit earlier. So we need a chord there. So we're going to take this Bones B, and even though it's the 1 major, we're going to change this chord to maybe the 4. Let's listen to this. It's close. Now, once you're all finished creating a loop, you just press Add, and then your new loop will show up under this tab that says My Loops. Now, normally when you have a loop like this that you like, you would bring it into the DAW, start building your beat and your track around it. But what I really like about session loops is we can create a few different variations of this loop, build ourselves a nice little guitar arrangement, and then build on top of that. Even just messing around with these chord voicings can do a lot. So now we've got two slightly different variations of kind of the same chord progression. There's some subtle differences, but for the most part, they're kind of the same vibe. But it's those subtle differences that make this 8 measures have a little bit more character than just looping the same 4 bars. So let's take a listen. also build loops and session loops completely from scratch. We'll pick this electro keys pack, come over here where it says new loops, and you can just start building your loop. Okay, so there's one. Here it could be cool to duplicate these same chords, but just use different grooves to kind of give it a little bit more of a human feel. Let's do one more. So I like the chord groove of this, but I'm not really dead set on this progression. So let's see if there's something in here that we like. Okay, so I like some stuff about this. I'm going to change this back to the 4. All right, so we got 4 different loops, and what's cool about this Electro Keys pack is it has a MIDI download option. So let's download all 4 of these parts as MIDI. I'm gonna bring these into Logic and see what we can cook up. This video just how customizable all of this content is. Right now they've got 11 guitar packs and 5 synth packs. Each one of these packs contain a bunch of different loops, grooves, riffs, and you can combine and mix and match and create kind of endless combinations of unique chord progressions. So I really dig that. Session Loops offers a free 14-day trial and plans start as low as $5.99 a month if you're interested. Session Loops also allows you to share the loops that you create, and every stream that your loops get will earn you 1 credit towards your Session Loops account. They're also updating the platform with new content every single month. This pack, the Electric Cure, just dropped. It's got some great sounding guitar loops in it. But listen, my friends, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks again to Session Loops for supporting the channel and sponsoring today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.